Hi, hello. I'm Dr. K. Pungode, Assistant Professor in Department of Commerce. Hi, hello. Now we are going to discuss about the topic commercial law. In that commercial law subject, classifications of good. The before slide we have discussed about the what is contract of sale of goods and what is sale and what is agreement to sell. Now we are going to discuss about the classifications of goods over here. So classifications of goods, before going into a classifications of goods, now we have to clear about what is the goods. Under section 22 subsection 7 of Indian Sale of Goods Act 1930, the term goods plays a central role because a contract of sale can be existing only when there is a transfer of goods. So here the meaning of goods, according to the Act, goods means every kind of movable property other than the taxable claims and or actionable claims, money, and it includes stocks, shares, growing crops, grass, and things attached to or forming the part of land which can agree to be served before a sales. So that is known as goods. In clearly we can see good refers to the movable property that can be bought and sold, transferred from one person to another person, owned and possessed over here. The example for the goods are furnitures, vehicles, machineries, clothes, mobile accessories, agriculture crops, etc. So this is an essential thing over here. Next we can see the essential characteristics of a goods. It is a movable property, must be capable of being moved over here. Next one is transferable. Ownership can be transferred and it must be a valuable, must be a monetary value over here for the goods. Next thing is subject matter of contract, must form a part of sale of contract. So that is a essential characteristics of a contract. The importance of goods in contract of sale is that a contract of sale is a valid when there is a goods plus price. So the price is also important thing for that goods. When the two is combined together over here and making a transfer of ownership, that is known as transfer of goods over here. The ownership property in terms of goods, it determines risk, liabilities, rights of buying and seller, again all those things. So I hope you all understand that what is the characteristics and what is the goods. Now we are going to see about the classifications of goods over here. The goods can be classified into three. The first thing is on the basis of existency. First one is existing goods. The existing goods means which existing at the time of contract and are owned or possessed by the seller. So that is known as existing goods. Clearly we can once again say that goods that are legally owned and possessed by the seller at the time of sale. So that is known as existing goods. In this existing goods, it is subdivided into three. So that is specific goods and ascertained goods and unascertained goods. Here the specific goods means identifying and agreed upon the time of making a contract, that they are clearly distinguished from other goods. Ownership can pass immediately if the goods is deliverable status. So example for this is A agrees to sell his car bearing register number and sale of particular painting in a gallery. So here the important thing is that if a specific goods are destroyed before the contract without the knowledge of seller, the contract becomes void. If everything should be in a specific mode and the specific thing, that is known as specific goods. So next one is ascertained goods. Here the ascertained goods means goods identified after the contract is made. At the time of contract, goods are not specially identified. Later, they can be separated or rematched for the buyer. So that is known as ascertained goods. Here, out of 500, here we are having a better example. Out of 500 bags of rice, 50 bags are separated and marked for the buyer. the ownership process only when the goods are ascertained and appropriated to the contract. So that is known as ascertained goods. So next thing is unascertained goods. In this unascertained goods, goods are not specifically identified. In ascertained goods, the goods is specified, only the 50 rice bag goes to a particular person. So that is ascertained goods. Here it is an unascertained goods. They forms a part of large bulk. No transfer of ownership until the identification. Here the example is that 100 tons of wheat out of 1000 tons. So 10 shirts from the stock. So these are all the things of uncertain, example for uncertain goods. The ownership does not pass until the goods are ascertained. So if we have handed over the 100 t-shirts or 1000 t-shirts from the stock only, it will become an ascertained goods. Before that, it is an unascertained goods over here. The next thing is that future goods. First one is existing goods. Existing goods is subdivided into three. That is, one is existing goods, and then specific goods, ascertained and unascertained. The next thing is future goods. In this future goods, we are having future goods, or it is to be manufactured, produced or acquired by the seller after the contract. They do not exist at the time of contract. Only an agreement to sell can be made in the future goods. So here it is clearly understandable that immediately there is not a ownership. Only after a future period only it will become a owner for that product, and all it will be transfer of ownership over here in a future date. Example, crops to be grown next month, furnitures to be manufactured next month, goods to be imported from other countries. So these are all the important things of a future goods. Ownership cannot be passed until the goods come into an existence. Next thing is contingent goods. In this contingent goods, it is a type of future goods. Their acquisition depends upon the uncertain event. Example, goods to be sold if a particular ship arrives. If sale of crop if rainfall occurs. So it predicts uncertainable event does not happen. This contract became a void. So that is a contingent contract. It may happen, it may not be happen. So that is becoming a contingent contract. If uncertain event depends upon the contingent contract. Here on the basis of condition, we are having a different types of goods. One is perishable goods, another one is non-perishable goods. Here the perishable goods means goods that can be destroyed quickly or loss of value rapidly over a time. So that is known as perishable goods. Here we are having an example for perishable goods are milk, fruits, vegetables, fish, etc. This are all comes under the perishable goods. An unpaid seller can resell the perishable goods without a notice. The next thing is non-perishable goods do not destroy quickly, have a longer lifetime over here. Example, furnitures, machineries, electronic items, etc. So these are all the different classifications of goods over here. So the classifications of goods, that is, it is divided. Once again I am overviewing the classifications of goods. We are having three different types, three different classifications over here. So that is, first one is a classification based on existency. In this existency it is subdivided into three. One is existing goods. In that existing goods, it is subdivided into three, that is specific goods, ascertained good and unascertained goods. Next thing is contingent goods. In this contingent goods, one of the classification. After that, we are having the classification based on condition. Here we are having a perishable goods and non-perishable goods over here. So I hope you all understand about the what is classifications of goods over here. Thank you.